Why is there no noise? Is this concerning? Something come unplugged? Oh, okay, it was just my okay. Yeah, that was just my headphones. I couldn't hear anything because my headphones weren't plugged in all the way. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Kindali here, and welcome back to another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. Let me adjust my headset here. Okay. Alright. Last time we left off at chapter 5. With Rumple. I guess we're out in town with Rumple now, so just jump right in. What a brilliant day! The sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet princess here to accompany me. I cannot help but groan at Rumple's optimism. Because we are both sent out to run errands. Because everyone thinks we make a wonderful couple. No, because we're partners. Partners, a couple, it may as well be the same thing. Half of the time Rumple says some deep things, but then he says things like that. It's like he has two personalities. No, it's not the same thing at all. I take out the list and scour at it for the things we need to buy. More than half of it is already crossed out. I glance at the bag Rumple is carrying. He refuses to let me carry any of them, insisting that it would be impolite to force the load on me. That leaves me with the list duty. This is a lot more laid back than what I have to do at the Marken. Okay, now we have the general medicine restock for Anais. My area of expertise. Never fear, my sweet princess. I will find everything we need. We already have a list. But Rumple just hums enthusiastically as we continue on our way, and I'm not entirely sure if he heard me or not. We arrive at the little medicine shop in the central plaza. A man exits through the front door, coughing so loudly people turn their heads to stare at him. I wait for the man to pass, so I can open the door to the store, but then I notice that Rumple hasn't budged beside me at all. His eyes do a quick scan of the man, before he slowly begins to walk towards him. Sir, are you sick? What's it to you? Even if I was sick, lad, there's nothing I can do if I don't have any money. Besides, it's not like this will kill me, it's just a cough. How long have you had your cough, sir? It seems like such a minor thing, but Rumple suddenly looks so serious about it. He looks at the man with his eyes slightly narrowed, as if trying to see past him. It's been with me for more than 3 days. Coughs are a pesky thing, aren't they? They're usually the last thing to go, but at least they're not deadly most of the time. Even if you can't buy the medicines, sir, there are other home remedies that might help with your cough. Boy, I've already tried warm tea. My wife gives me enough of that. Water is good for your throat too, sir. Any kind of steam works too. If the cough is riddled with mucus, it'll be easier to expel it with steam. When you can't afford the medicine, sometimes the simple things will help. And coughs stay for a while, so don't fret if you can't get rid of yours immediately. Well, I appreciate the advice. Not exactly what a doctor would tell me, but it'll have to do. The man thanks Rumple before walking off. I notice Rumple looking down at the ground, a rather forlorn expression on his face. Is what he said true? About what, princess? About doctors not giving advice about at-home remedies. Most of the doctors don't believe in such things. They always think that medicines work better than at-home herbal remedies. The medicines do help, but sometimes they aren't necessary. Yet you just gave him advice. Not everyone can afford medicine. Being a doctor means helping people, not taking advantage of their sickness to steal their money. Money was never a problem at the palace. Whenever I was sick, the palace staff just made sure I had the best and most effective medicines. Do you remember what you were like as a doctor? I wanted to help everyone that showed up at my doorstep. Sometimes I couldn't, and it frustrated me. I prescribed medicines when necessary, gave advice other times, and when things were dire, I performed small operations. He does seem a lot more serious when he's talking about health. Rumple was silent for a few moments, before his eyes light up once again. Anyways, shall we go stock up our medicine? I thought you said medicine wasn't always helpful. Because it's not, but I also know that Anais uses mostly herbs, and that she tries to handle things without too much medication. She is quite capable. We enter the shop, and in no time at all, Rumple spots the items on our list. We use up the rest of our money to buy the medicines and remedies that we need, and then we begin to head back to the tavern. On the way there, Rumple strikes up a conversation again. So, Princess, have you given any thought to what I said before? About what? You've already forgotten? About making people happy. What? You know, you can make me happy right here and now by giving me a kiss on the cheek. I stare blankly at him before walking away. No, thank you. And alas, my hopes are dashed again. I love Rumple so much. When we are at the outskirts of town, I pause and turn around. It is as if I can feel eyes on my back, but I do not see anyone openly staring at me. Is someone watching me? Suddenly, I feel warmth in my hand, then fingers interlacing through mine. Rumple pulls me a little closer, his expression oddly gentle. Don't worry, my sweet princess. You are safe with me. Ah. Suddenly his face is a lot closer to mine, and I can see his features more closely. It's like the night in the forest, except his face is not marred by the same shadows. There's caution in his eyes, but it is not directed at me. Did you see someone following you? No, I just thought I felt someone looking at me. Better stay together then. We began walking away. The two of us begin to head back to the market. Rumple has all the bags in one hand now. He hums a little bit as we walk. It is remarkably peaceful, so much so that I do not even mind him holding my hand. It suddenly feels a lot safer. Aww. I am so lost in Revere that I do not even notice when we turn and go in the opposite direction. This is not the way back to the market. On the contrary, it's just a more scenic path. Don't you like the forest, princess? The shafts of light coming through the canopies, the soft blades of grass that tickle your ankles. It is such a romantic place. No matter what he says, this does not lead back to the market. It is not a scenic path, or a path at all. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a nice stroll through the forest. Let's keep on walking with Rumple. It is picturesque, isn't it, princess? It is, but it still does not lead back to the market. No, but I figured taking this detour is safer. If someone is watching you, they're less likely to follow us straight into the market. Safer, but it's just the two of us. I have faith that I would be able to protect you, princess. Also, the forest is a maze in and of itself. I suddenly stop and let my hand fall away from his as I stare up at him. I wasn't expecting this level of cleverness from Rumple. Rumple looks proud of himself. He takes a step forward, bridging the short distance between us, and then suddenly his fingers are around my wrist again. But he does not lace his fingers through mine. Instead, he takes my hand in his, and then puts it to his face. Before I realize it, my hand is on his cheek, his hand cupping my own. Princess, you can trust me. Always, I mean. I can sense that sometimes you trust me, and sometimes you don't. But you don't need to be so cautious around me. I shower you with compliments because I believe you deserve them. I tell you that I enjoy being around you because I do. I should be focusing on his words, but all I can look at are his eyes. What do I need to do for you to fully trust me? Mother told me people lie, so how can I trust that everything he says is the truth? Perhaps if I stopped throwing compliments at you, you would not be you without all the compliments. What am I saying? I always complain about his compliments, but the thought of Rumple without compliments is strange. So you do enjoy my compliments, sweet princess? No, What? Words have deserted you? I understand being so close to me would have that effect on any woman. Something bright and angry flares up inside of me. Something that I don't understand. I pull my hand away from him and scowl at my face. Was it my big mouth again, princess? Come on, let's go back to the market. Start walking ahead, and Rumple rushes to catch up with me. I clench my fingers and let out a silent sigh. Rumple is being so nice to me again, but I always reject his kindness because it cannot be real. Rumple. Days go by. I consider Rumple's advice, but I refuse to flirt with anyone again. But I have no idea how to make anyone happy. Rumple told me that I cannot make anyone happy without knowing anything about them and listening to them like I did with Anais. But what reason do I have to listen to people? This is so frustrating. Days later, Rumple and I sit at the table waiting for our work orders. Rumple is on the verge of conversation with me when we suddenly hear Parfait speaking in the doorway. Rumple picks up on the words before I do and rushes over to the front door. He looks almost nervous. Who's at the front door? I excuse myself briefly, telling Anais that I will be back. I make my way over to the front door, and there I see 3 people in conversation. There is Rumple and Parfait, and a very pale man. The pale man looks like death itself. He might just keel over. I can help him. Rumple? He needs help. He can stay in my room instead. I can even restock the medicine on my own if need be, so please let me help him. There was a desperation in Rumple's eyes that I have never seen before. He looks at Parfait pleadingly, all the while holding the man by the shoulders to steady him. What is happening? Oh, Princess, this man heard about Rumple through one of the men at the tavern. He's sick and doesn't have a lot of money to pay for treatment. He came here seeking Rumple. He must have been able to find this place because he was cursed. Does he even have money to pay? Rumple turns to me with a frown on his face. I have never seen him look at me so sternly. Princess, you remember what I told you before. He was insistent that a doctor's #1 priority was to help their patient, regardless of the monetary situation. Take him to your room then, Rumple. I will have Anais assist you, if she's willing. No, Anais does not need to worry herself. I think she'd want to help you. The two cut their discussion short when the man starts coughing. A terrible, hacking cough that paralyzes him. Rumple studies him, and then begins to slowly move him towards his room. Don't worry, Princess. He'll be fine. What? I can see the worry on your face. Rumple will be fine. Why would I worry about Rumple? Because it's not like you to worry about someone you don't know at all. He looked so alarmed. I've never seen Rumple look like that before. It's not like him. Rumple knows what he's doing. I'll have someone else assist you with serving today, so no worries. Parfait comes through on her promise. When I go back to the bar, both Anais and Rumple are gone. Karma, or Miss Karma, is there instead, looking disgruntled. Waltz would be better at this. Why do I have to help? Because Waltz is busy doing his puppet shows and Rumple is helping a sick man. Oh, well, I guess there's nothing to do about this then, other than enjoy it. He flips his hair and smiles brilliantly. I will attract all of the customers today. Perhaps we should have a competition, Princess. Compete with yourself. I'm really not in the mood for karma right now. Then I shall definitely compete with myself, because challenging yourself is important. Oh, I love Karma too, they're so great. Karma picks up waiting tables fairly easily. I notice that he speaks very fondly to the girls, but they are not as receptive as they are with Rumple. Many times they ask Karma where Rumple is, and he seems agitated when he tells them that Rumple is busy. He seems just as irritated. Once my break starts, I meet Karma at the bar. He looks depressed. I guess he and Rumple competed to woo girls. I guess if you and Rumple competed to woo girls, he would win. Darling, if I were to shed my disguise right here and now, I would be the clear victor. Since without this disguise, women would flock to me. It is rather uncomfortable to have every woman in NGL fall in love with you. You look like you're judging me, Princess. Because I am. If you only understood my plight. Carmel and Rumple may speak similarly, but they're still so different. Karma's the type to complain. Rumple never complains. He's overworking himself for someone else, just like he went out of his way to apologize to me many times. My heart sinks a little bit as I think of him, and Anais helping out the sick man. Rumple did not even want Anais going up there, so he probably wouldn't want me up there either. I could try to go visit him, or I could go back to my room. Let's go see how he's doing! I want to go see Rumple. I think I'll go check on him. Check on Rumple? I hadn't realized I was speaking aloud. Look at Karma. He furrows his eyebrows at me slightly. I honestly don't know how you can stand him as a partner. Why do you dislike Rumple so much? A lot of things, Princess. But that fight is between us and doesn't involve you. And do not involve me. No, you have no need to comment on us being partners. Karma looks at me wide-eyed and a little shocked. Then a sort of knowing comes to his eyes and he smiles just a little bit. Yes, I think you should go visit him, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get him off your mind, would you? Rude. It's not like I like him or anything, baka. Excuse me, no, there's Tsundere there. He laughs a little before picking up his tray and rushing off to continue his shift. I slowly make my way upstairs, my feet feeling heavy. For some reason, I feel like Carmo is right. I make my way over to what I think is Rumple's door. The door is slightly ajar, and I hear hushed voices on the other side. Those voices definitely belong to Anais and Rumple. I slowly push the door open and quietly step inside. Rumple and Anais are standing over the man, who is covered in blankets and coughing. A series of bottles sits on the table close by. None of the herbal remedies are working. We need a medicine for this. I'm sorry, I don't have any more money to offer, Rumple. Anais, please don't sound so sad. You've already tried helping as much as you possibly can. It's my fault for promising to buy the medicine that we need. I glance at the table, where a list is sitting. Beautiful cursive handwriting details everything that the patient needs. Everything is circled, except for some medicine at the very bottom that has stars next to it. Is that Rumple's handwriting? Suddenly the two of them turn. They are both shocked to see me. Princess, what are you doing here? I came to see how you were doing. Princess, I'm fine, but... He glances down at the man on the bed. Anais sighs out a little bit. We've given him what we can, but the one medicine that we need is something we can't afford. Even with the money I'm getting from Lady Parfait, it isn't enough. I walk into the room and glance at the list. I look over at the total for the medicine, and at the coins on the table that I hadn't noticed before. Did Rumple use all his money for the stranger? What will happen if you do not get his medicine? Without this, the infection will spread and he goes silent as the man starts coughing again. I can read the answer in his eyes, even if he won't say it. The man could be in terrible danger. He could even die. Rumple looks defeated. He does not look like himself at all. I glance at the coins again, and then the list. Without a second thought, I grab both the list and the coins. Ah, Princess, what are you... I'll be back. I leave the room, even with Anais and Rumple protesting behind me. I make my way to the room where I pick up a bag of coins that the king gave me when I went to the palace on the day I was cursed. Then I headed for the door. I immediately head for the medicine store that we were always frequent. I count out the coins I need to buy the medicine. This will take all of my money, but it wasn't as if I was going to use it for something else. I rush back to the market with the medicine in a little bag, hoping that this is the one Rumple needs. Look at her doing a good deed! It is dark by the time I get back to the market. I make my way to Rumple's room again and notice that he is sitting on the stool beside the patient's bed, looking at him forlornly. When I enter the room, his eyes go wide. He seems even more surprised when I hand him the bag. Princess, is this... He opens the bag and lets the little vial roll onto his hand. Ah, how did you buy this? I combined your total with the money I had left. Rumple just stares at me, clearly flabbergasted. Then his expression morphs into something softer, something more relieved. He steps forward suddenly. His arms are around me. He grips me tightly, and then I hear his voice in my ear. Thank you so much, Princess Kendali. My heartbeat picks up slightly. It is so loud I think Rumple might hear it, but when he pulls away he does not say anything. I'll have to thank you for this later, Princess, but for now you should leave. I don't want you to get sick. I'm too dazed to disagree. I nod my head quietly before moving stiffly towards the door. I glance back at Rumple one last time, noticing that he is checking on the man's temperature. The moment I leave the room, a flash of light emanates from my chest. Yeah, look at you! Doing a good deed, getting a glass slipper piece. I absently touch the glass slipper at my neck, and then pause as I stare down at it. I feel a soft gasp leave my lips when I notice the fragment of a second slipper. The gasp. I got my first good deed. I bought the medicine for Rumple, but I only added in a few more coins to buy it, so what I did today was considered a good deed? I'm confused, but at the same time, I am pleased that I actually managed to get a good deed. Now I only need 2 more. The next day, I go down to the tavern area and begin my work, but I'm there a little early. Waltz is working on his puppets at a table, eyebrows furrowed in concentration. When I walk in, he looks up at me and smiles. Then he raises his eyebrows. Princess, congratulations! You got your first good deed. I did. I knew you could do it. I nod in response. His praise makes me feel oddly proud. I continue my usual work, keeping an eye out for Rumple as I work my shift, but he never appears. A few days go by, and it's only after the man leaves, looking a lot healthier and stable than he was before, that I finally see Rumple. He and the man speak in front of the door of the tavern. No, really, sir, I couldn't take anything from you. Nonsense, you saved my life. I need to pay you back somehow. The man is holding money out to Rumple, but Rumple just shakes his head. I notice that there are dark circles under his eyes, and that he looks tired. I didn't help you for the money. But I insist. That money could be spent on better things, like your family. You may not take my money, but I promise I will pay you back. Your help is all the reward I need, I promise. I can't thank you enough. After the man leaves, I approach Rumple. He turns to me and leans against the door. His smile still tired, but bright. Ah, princess! Come to heal my weary body, perhaps? I would so love another hug. My face became hot at the memory of Rumple's hug from the other day. The natural rogue of your cheeks is so sweet, princess. It makes me feel infinitely better. And your necklace seems different. I reach up to touch the pendant. Every time I get a good deed, a piece gets added to my necklace. Oh, right! You helped with the medicine the other day. Of course that was a good deed, princess. It was very selfless of you. Thank you again for that. That man tried to thank you too, but you refused his money. Why? And why did you spend your money on him? Because life is invaluable, princess. No amount of money could ever be more important than a person's life. Even if it's someone you do not know? Yes, because everyone has a life, princess. They have loved ones, families, sweethearts. And if I can help them, I will. I will gladly spend any amount of money to do so. Okay, fine. But why did you not accept any money from that man? Because no amount of money... You need that money. How are you going to buy more medicines without any money? Rumple's eyes widened. He was clearly not expecting me to ask that question. But he said before he did not have much money, and it was true. I can't take money from him when he doesn't have much to begin with. He was thanking you with money. You should have accepted it. Parfait pays you, does she not? Rumple's shoulders sag when he sighs. Yes, even though I won't accept his money... accept the money from her face to face. She has to sneak it into my wallet. If she does that, why not just accept it from her? I'm trying to make a statement, princess. And Parfait does not seem to care because she sneaks the money into your wallet regardless. You have a point there. You're stubborn. We both are. Now I have a question. Why did you use your money on that man? You knew nothing about him. Did you do it for him? For yourself? Or for me, perhaps? Nail on the head. Rumple grins at me mischievously. Even with his tired eyes, I can still see the bright cheer in them. Hit the nail right on the head. Again, you're becoming easier to read, my sweet princess. Well, no matter why you did it, thank you. That medicine was necessary to help that man. I still think you should have accepted the money from him. You helped him, and did him a service no one else would. You should have accepted his gratitude. Princess, I told you. I crossed my arms in front of him. You're so stubborn. Rumple's smile falters, and he just looks at me sadly, almost guilty. For some reason, the sight of him in such a state makes my heart sink. Wipe off that frown. You look better with a smile. Rumple stares at me, shocked. Why is he staring at me like that? You like my smile? What? I did not say You like my smile, and you complimented it too. Princess, you have no idea how much this means to me. Rumple throws his hands in the air. I resist urge to roll my eyes at the exaggerated reaction. You get compliments all the time from women. Yes, but none as honest as yours. That compliment is valuable because I know you absolutely meant it. So I will keep those words close to my heart, because they are precious to me. It wasn't anything like the spectacular compliments he gives, yet he still looks so happy. You two seem to be getting along. Parfait appears behind us with a smile on her face. Sorry to interrupt, but Kendali, Karma is slowly drowning in table work. Would you help him? Yes, of course. Rumple looks disappointed as I am sent back to the bar, where Karma expresses immediate relief that I am back. Rumple retires to his room early that day, and he is given the day off. Both Delora and Parfait can see the tiredness on his face, just like I can. He does not reappear for the rest of the day. At the end of my shift, I retire to my room. When I get downstairs the next morning, I am met with a familiar sight. Both Karma and Rumple stand on the opposite side of the table, their voices rising in argument. Are they fighting again? I happen to catch the words as I walk quietly down the stairs. Who are you to criticize my work ethic when you were gone for several days, leaving me with your workload? It wasn't like I wanted to. And who are you to criticize how I work? All of the ladies I spoke to said that you shower them with compliments. What kind of professional behaves like that? I'm having a hard time believing you're a professional with the way you flaunt yourself. At least I don't flirt with people to attract their attention. And you flirt with them and don't even realize the effect it has on other people. Flattery is not a crime. Just yesterday, the princess came to see you in your room, all because you gave her the impression that you liked her. Were you actually spying on her? You call me uncouth. No, I overheard her say it. And you're wrong, I never say anything if it isn't truthful. Well, then the truth of the matter is that you must be in love with many women. Because they all seem to think that you'll get down on one knee and propose to them. You say some sly things, Miss Karma, and yet the biggest liar, and you are the biggest liar of us all. At least I don't lie to my partner. I mean, Karma kinda has a point. Rumple is a big, huge flirt, and... But I mean... I guess he's my partner, I should defend him. Rumple tells me that he never lies. He tells me that he wants me to trust him. Though I still find it hard to believe. I do want to trust him. I walk down the rest of the stairs and stop at Rumple's side. Both men look equally surprised to see me there. Rumple has never lied to me yet. Karma looks up and stares at me for a few moments, looking startled by my sudden appearance. Then he sighs. Princess, a man that flatters everyone doesn't flatter anyone. At least he's not so conceited, he flatters himself constantly. Ouch. Such a sharp tongue you have, Princess. You're very quick to jump to assumptions. You two are at it again? Churian stops at the table and frowns at them. Both men glance away from her cold gaze. Karma murmurs something before excusing himself. Rumple looks down at the table, his eyebrows knit together with frustration. What is wrong with you two? Why can't you just be civil with each other? Churian, you're never here to see how these fights start. Karma's every bit a beast, attacking me for no good reason at all. But with your keen eye, you should be able to discern that, right? Flattery won't work on me, Rumple. And second, I doubt those fights start without any... and second, I doubt these fights start with any bit of prompting from you. I swear I don't start anything. Karma's just always irritable. He's like a woman during that one time of the month. Oh my god, that's the wrong thing to say to two women. Jurian walks away stiffly, leaving me with Rumple. I look at him, a little irritated by his earlier comment. He gives me a sheepish smile. Thank you, Princess. For what? For defending me. I swear I meant what I said. I would never lie to you. I mean every one of my compliments, every one of my thank yous. You must know that, since you came to defend me. Rumple, sometimes you continue talking when nothing needs to be said. But I'm just expressing the depths of my gratitude. It's not necessary. Such a small thing, too. Princess? Princess? Can you give me some help with the inventory? I'm coming. As I turn away, Rumple waves. I'll see you later, Princess. Who knows? You might get your second good deed. I resist the urge to roll my eyes. I feel like it'll be a while yet before I can achieve my next good deed. Chapter 6! Strings of Fate. Okay, leaving off here, I'm liking that we're actually on chapters now. Let's go ahead and... bloop. Anyways, loving it, loving it. I love Rumple's character development, and the princess here is finally getting some good deeds accomplished after how long in the market? A couple months? Well, it's good. I'm glad. There's progress. Yes, I'm very happy with this game now. Still loving Karma and Rumple. They're getting a bit more serious though, so hopefully nothing bad happens there. We'll have to see about that one. Thank you guys for watching, and join me next time. I'm gonna post more of this. I'm gonna go all the way to the end of at least Rumple's storyline. I might go back and replay a few others, but we'll see on that. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Have a wonderful day.